There will be AI better at writing music that we appreciate than Mozart ever could, or writing better than Shakespeare ever did, and so on. Now, I don't imagine that a dog is remotely as close to being intelligent as an AI intelligence,
Yes.
but it's certainly capable of communicating emotionally with us.
But here's what I would venture to say. We tend to think because AI plays chess well and is able to fold proteins now well, that it's intelligent. I would argue that in order to communicate with humans, in order to have emotional intelligence, it actually requires another order of magnitude of intelligence. It's not easy to be flawed. Solving a mathematical puzzle is not the same as the full complexity of human-to-human interaction. That's actually, we humans just take for granted the things we're really good at. Non-stop, people tell me how shitty people are at driving. No, humans are incredible at driving. Bipedal walking, object manipulation. We're incredible at this. And so people tend to
discount the things we all just take for granted.
And one of those things that they discount is our ability, the dance of conversation and interaction with each other, the ability to morph ideas together, the ability to get angry at each other and then to miss each other, like to create a tension that makes life fun and difficult and challenging in a way that's meaningful. That is a skill that's learned, and AI would need to solve that problem.
I mean, in some sense, what you're saying is AI cannot become meaningfully emotional, let's say, until it experiences some kind of internal conflict that is unable to reconcile these various aspects of reality or its reality with a decision to make. And then it feels sad necessarily because it doesn't know what to do. And I certainly can't dispute that. That may very well be how it works. I think the only way to find out is to do it. And
to build it, and leave it to the philosophers if it actually feels sad or not. The point is, the robot will be sitting there alone, having an internal conflict, an existential crisis, and that's required for it to have a deep, meaningful connection with another human being. Now, does it actually feel that? I don't know.
But I'd like to throw something else at you, which troubles me on reading it. Noah Harari's book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, and he's written about this kind of thing on various occasions. And he sees biochemistry as an algorithm. And then AI will necessarily be able to hack that algorithm and do it better than humans. So there will be AI better at writing music that we appreciate than Mozart ever could, or writing better than Shakespeare ever did, and so on. Because biochemistry is algorithmic, and all you need to do is figure out which bits of the algorithm to play to make us feel good or bad or appreciate things. And it's as a biochemist, I find that argument close to irrefutable and not very enjoyable. I don't like the sound of it. That's just my reaction as a human being. You might like the sound of it because that says that AI is capable of the same kind of emotional feelings about the world as we are, because the whole thing is an algorithm and you can program an algorithm and there you are. He then has a peculiar final chapter where he talks about consciousness in rather separate terms, and he's talking about meditating and so on and getting in touch with his inner conscious. I don't meditate, I don't know anything about that. But he wrote in very different terms about it, as if somehow it's a way out of the algorithm. Now, it seems to me that consciousness, in that sense, is capable of scuppering the algorithm. I think in terms of the biochemical feedback loops and so on, it is undoubtedly algorithmic. But in terms of what we decide to do, it can be much more based on an emotion. We can just think, I don't care. I can't resolve this complex situation. I'm going to do that. And that can be based on, in effect, a different currency, which is the currency of feelings and something where we don't have very much personal control over. And then it comes back around to you, and what are you trying to get at with AI? Do we need to have some system which is capable of overriding a rational decision which cannot be made because there's too much conflicting information by effectively an emotional, judgmental decision that just says, do this and see what happens.
Yeah,
That's
so-
what consciousness is really doing.